Good evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising. We are back for this week's Cruise Talk Live. Talk about all things cruising here. Well, hello, Linda. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to tonight's live. So we're here to talk about all things cruising, some interesting stuff going on with cruising this week. And I thought this week we would talk about some misconceptions about cruising. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
You know, a little expectation versus reality type of thing.
Cody says good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. Hello, Dale. Welcome to tonight's live. Hopefully I don't cough or start sneezing during tonight's live. My allergies are going insane this week. I don't know what it is. High temperature. I mean, it's blazing out. So you go outside, you catch on fire just walking outside. You know, I saw a video of someone they were walking across the street in flip-flops, and their flip-flops were actually melting to the sidewalk.
Oh, people are baking in their cars.
Like food?
Yeah. I saw a video where a lady was baking bread in her mailbox.
Okay. Well, I guess that would be a whole video about baking bread in your mailbox. That's what we're going to do for our next live. We're going to bake bread in the mailbox. Yeah, I noticed that it is going up. It seems like we are getting a little more popular each and every month, getting more people coming out, checking out the channel. So we appreciate everybody who checks out anything we do, to be honest with you. I know when we started this a couple years ago, because we're coming up on our third year this November, I didn't quite think we'd get as big as we even are. I mean, we're not huge, but I'm happy.
I thought he'd give up after 6 months.
Yeah, she did. She's like, you'll never succeed. She didn't think I couldn't do it. She didn't think, anyway.
But Andre says, hey. Robert says, good evening.
Evening.
James says, good evening.
Everybody's hopping on in. Oh, yeah, hit the like button. You know, I actually got something for that. Where did it go? Oh, I know where it is. Got something for that, see? I can make it scroll across the bottom. All right, we'll turn that off. There we go. But yeah, I've been playing with that.
Baking bread in the mailbox. It's crazy hot, but dang.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking, God, would I have to stand out by the mailbox while it was baking? Lynn Powers, welcome. Greetings from Wisconsin.
Are you baking up there too?
I think the whole planet is on a bake right now, to be honest with you.
It's like heat high all over the country.
Yeah, it is just a hot summer. And I've been reading a lot of the cruise comments, you know, from people that are cruising right now, cruising, you know, in the last couple of weeks. And there's a whole bunch of people out there that's saying the air conditioners on the ships aren't working.
It's 110 with heat index in Virginia. Wow.
Yeah, about the same here. They say you go outside and it takes your breath away. You just start to sweat. You stand out in the sun too long, you burst into flame. It's pretty awful. It is pretty awful. But I said, a lot of people have been saying the air conditioners aren't working on their cruise ships, and you know that their rooms won't even cool down past 78, 80 degrees. And I that's definitely to me one of those expectation versus reality things. You're in a metal tube essentially, a big metal ship and windows, especially if you have a balcony cabin. Our balcony cabin always gets warm in the afternoon during the summertime. That sun just, hits that glass and it gets warmer in the room.
Yeah, as much as I like the curtains open to see out, I always go close them. I wonder what weather going to be like in the Amber Cove when we go on our cruise next month.
Hold on, let me rub the magic genie ball, and I'm going to predict hot. I'm going to predict hot and sweaty. But you can always hop in the ocean and cool off, get a little swimming in. But even the ocean temperatures are up right now. So, but it is, that's the best way to cool off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Grab that snorkel gear and hit that water. Stay underwater and chase those fish.
That is part of the reason why I don't cruise in the summer months, because I can't take the heat. The older I get, as much.
Yeah, I mean, between the heat and the fact that that's some of the most crowded times to cruise, when the kids are out of school and stuff like that, that is also one of the times we avoid as well. Yes. And yeah, that heat is a killer. You could keep the curtains closed in a balcony cabin. That will help some. But honestly, if I was absolutely cruising in the summertime, I would go with an inside cabin just because they will stay cooler.
Yeah.
It's the best thing you can do.
Andre says he's been wearing sunscreen. You have to.
You have to. You absolutely have to. It's killing out there, but I'd still go on a cruise. Yeah. I would still cruise. I'm not going to lie about it.
Yeah, we can cruise to Alaska. It's a lot cooler there.
That's right. That is actually the best.
Cody says Alaska sounds amazing.
There you go. Exactly. You know what? It is 110 degrees. Let's all pack it up. Let's all go meet in Skagway.
Yes.
How about that? It's got to be cooler in Skagway than it is here.
Ketchikan, because Creek Street, the salmon are starting to spawn.
Already? I thought that was closer to September.
It's about another week or two.
Tiffany knows spawning season for salmon. Why she knows that fact, I have no idea. But she apparently knows the spawning habits of salmon.
California Linda says, just Cody. We also, in triple digits, we laughed so hard at Chris' Saturday vlog about the lady who was complaining about the heat and not anticipating her pre-cruise needs.
Yes. I got some doozies that'll be coming up this Saturday, too. And because right now, I don't know, maybe it's the heat and it's the summer, but boy, there's a lot of complaining. Not complaining. I said it's expectation versus reality. And cruise lines are a business, so their goal is to please as many people as much of the time as they possibly can, and they will never, ever please everybody. They just can't.
Good evening, Desiree.
Well, and majority of the comments I see, of course, are Carnival, but that's because Carnival cruisers have a place to actually voice that stuff. With Carnival having their brand ambassador, John Heald, he gives them a voice to talk. He gives them a voice to write in their comments, where a lot of the other cruise lines just don't.
Cody says it's 107 heat index and 99 degrees here. How about in your parts? 99 degrees would be a cool front.
Yeah, that'd be a cool front for us.
How do you nab a lounger at the pool when it's crowded?
A stick. Whack. Wow, that's a toughie. If you want it right next to the pool, you're going to have to get up early. They're not supposed to save seats. They're supposed to take people's stuff off of them. You hear stories that they do, and you hear tons of stories that they don't. Honestly, if you want one right next to the pool, you're going to have to get up there super early. Usually you can get pool adjacent, pretty much throughout the day. Usually you can get lucky to get pool adjacent. But to get right next to the pool, I'd say the only real way to do it is to get up there fairly early, be one of the first people mark out your spot. Now, don't put your stuff on it at like 5 o'clock in the morning and come back at 11, because there'll be pitchforks and everything else in people's hands waiting for you. But you definitely get up there early.
Also, try the adults only pool. You're probably going to have better chances at the adults only pool.
Or hope it rains.
Yeah, when it rained, everybody scattered.
Yeah, you get one of those nice, especially when it's warm outside, you get one of those nice Caribbean showers. They're only going to last a short amount of time. People will run out of the pool. They hightail it into cover. As soon as that happens, boy, Tiffany and I are in the pool, and you can have any lounger around the pool you want, because people will book out, and it's just a little bit of rain, and you're already wet from being in the pool. I don't know why they're running from it. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it's all kinds of stuff. I was going through reading all kinds of stuff today. Carnival's putting out the new menus, and they're starting to roll them out fleet-wide. And a lot of people like them. A lot of people are like, oh, this looks really good. Can't wait to try it. Hope it's on my next cruise. But also a whole lot of, I can't believe you're serving that much seafood on a menu, which I find odd when you're on a seafaring vessel out in the sea, that there would be seafood, right?
Which is odd for you because you don't like seafood.
No, I don't even like seafood, but I'm not surprised it's there. I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, and there's some fish being served for dinner. What a shocker. When they were, casting out for supper that night, did they not hook the cow that floated by? Are cows not floating in the Gulf of Mexico?
No.
Weird, right? Now, and I joke, but, even on the last menu I looked at, there was 2 beef choices, 2 chicken choices, and some fish and some crawfish and some shrimp, stuff you'd expect to be on a ship. I guess, I don't know. I guess we're just not that picky. I can always find something to eat on a ship. Whether it's in the dining room, one of the grab and goes, whether it's in the buffet, whether it's some pizza. Excuse me. Knew that was coming. I can always find something to eat. I mean, have you guys ever been on a ship and not been able to find something good to eat? How about that as a good question? What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I can always find something. More often than not, I'm more overwhelmed with the choices than I am underwhelmed. But even I can admit that there's been some times I've looked at the main dining room menu and said, nothing on here really strikes my fancy. Some of the stuff's a little too fancy for me.
Yeah. But you said they got away with the Did You Evers.
Yeah, Carnival did. They've done away with those rare finds. You're thinking of Disney. On Carnival, they were called rare finds. And yes, they did get rid of those. That was your frog legs and stuff like that. And instead, they've gone with Emerald's choices.
Cody says, I always can find something to eat on a cruise ship. I have never had a problem finding great food on a cruise ship. Exactly. But if you're an experienced cruiser, you know what to expect. So you're not going into it with false expectations. I think a lot of new cruisers that have never cruised before, they see the commercials. And the commercials sometimes can be a little bit misleading. Mm-hmm. They show beauty, and when they show the pool decks, it's not crowded, and they show the delicious food that, is, plastic and glued together and not real. And they don't come on there and say, oh, yeah, the main dining room's banquet style. So it's not like they made it fresh for you. You got a buffet. Well, you're not real sure how long it's been out there. If you want something cooked fresh to order, you got to go to a specialty restaurant. That can cost a little bit more. You're going to have crowds. It's going to be warmer on the ship when the sun is blaring on that sucker. Does the Emerald Choices cost
Excuse me, sorry about that allergy. No, they sure do not. They are included. The ones that cost extra, every night they have the steakhouse options. And if you haven't seen some of Carnival's new menus, they're over on John Heald's Facebook page. He posted one today. And I can post them over on the community tab too for anybody that wants to see those. But no, it's the steakhouse choices, So if you want your surf and turf or some of those type options, you can actually get meals from the steakhouse in the main dining room. You pay for those.
Yeah. What are the things we should know before going on a cruise?
How to swim.
Don't scare.
Oh. Oh, what to know before going on a cruise. Pack your patience. If you've never gone on a cruise before, pack your patience and understand
Things happen.
Things will happen. You got to go with the flow. You could go to embarkation at your port and there could be a line. Maybe it takes a few extra minutes to get to the line, maybe some delays. Be expected. Be patient. You're going to get on the ship. You're going to get to go where you want to go. You're going to get to do what you want to do. You just got to exercise a little bit of patience.
Yeah.
When you're disembarking the ship, patience. I'd say patience is probably one of the biggest ones. If you've never been on a cruise before, and especially if you go on a big ship for the first time, you're going to get lost. There's maps.
I still get lost.
Tiffany still gets lost, but you can, ask a crew member. There's usually maps and directions near all of the elevators, things like that, but you're going to get lost. Have fun with it. Go with the flow.
And just be aware that itineraries can change.
Yeah, itineraries can change. I mean, it's all in the cruise contract, but nobody actually reads that because it's like 40 miles long. But yeah, itineraries can change, ports can change, times can change. I mean, there's even cruises where let's say you're sailing during hurricane season, you're supposed to be back on Saturday, hurricane comes in on Friday. Well, now you're not going to be able to come back until Tuesday. Flexibility. And what you put into a cruise is what you're going to get out of a cruise. If you stay positive and have a really positive attitude, you will have a good time.
Yes. And try new things.
And there you go. That's one of Tiffany's favorite. Try something new. Especially if you're in the, you go eat in the main dining room. Try something new. You don't like it? Let your server know, hey, I don't really like this. Can I get this instead? They will accommodate you. They'll take care of you, and it doesn't cost you anything extra to do that.
Right. And it doesn't have to be just food that you try new things, try new adventures, go play a trivia game, go see the shows.
Mm-hmm. I know food's always a big one for me.
And me, but
well, because you think about it, you go to a land-based restaurant, and you look at the menu, and you're not sure if you're going to like it. But if you order it in a land-based restaurant, they're going to charge you $40 for it. You eat some of it, and I don't like it. They're not going to take it away and bring you something else most of the time. But on a cruise ship, they will.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you anything extra. Cruising is a great opportunity to eat something you've never eaten before. Try something you never before. They ate escargot on a cruise ship. I looked at it. That's as far as I could get.
Try new things in the port, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the things we have here, they don't have. And they've got different things. And we've tried some really, really good stuff. And we've tried some
Yeah. But take time to be adventurous. Everything else, it'll fall into place like it's supposed to. There's all kinds of specific stuff you can focus on and stuff like that. But really, if you just go with the flow, you'll get on the ship, you'll get to your room, they'll feed you every day, do a little bit of exploring, pay attention to ship time when you're off in ports. If you're a brand new cruiser and this is your first, second cruise, you're not familiar with it, take a ship excursion, book it through the cruise ship because the ship will never leave without you if you're on a ship booked excursion. So just some little tips, tricks, and safety things.
If they have to miss more than one port, do they just anchor offshore and do you get onboard credits?
No, they never anchor offshore. Usually because if they've missed a port, the majority of the time it's weather. That's the most common one. So they will not anchor. They will keep on moving, usually away from the weather. But honestly, other than in port, cruise ships almost never stop. Even if they just out there doing a circle all night long. They're still moving because if they sit still and the sea gets rough, the ship moves more. You have to be doing greater than 5 knots, 5 to 10 knots, something like that, for the stabilizers to work. So they will keep above a certain amount of speed to keep the ship as stable and smooth as possible. So they never stop at anchor.
Robert says, be like Tiffany. Coffee, and more coffee.
Yep. She has tried every coffee that she has found in our travels. We will pass a coffee shop. She will stop, have a coffee, and as she's taking the last sip, she'll be like, "Ooh, there's another one." And in she will go. But she has tried coffee from every single country we've been to. And she has her favorites. Is Jamaican still one of your favorites?
Jamaican is still one of my favorites, and it's Alaskan, but the Alaskan coffee was really good.
You know they make Jamaican coffee is really made through a sock, right?
That's probably as long as however they make it, it's good.
But so if a ship misses the port, you automatically get the port fees and taxes refunded to you. Now, whether or not the ship gives onboard credits or not is really going to depend on the cruise line and that particular cruise. By cruise contract, they don't have to, but a lot of them will. A lot of them be like, they'll give you something usually, but it's not required that they give you any onboard credit.
California Linda says pre-cruise planning is paramount. Look at port options, study the ship layout, remember to have fun, pre-book your excursions, bring a wristwatch, ship and port time different.
Yes. Very.
Alice says love that Jamaican coffee.
So does Tiffany. So does Tiffany. Yep, and those are all really, really great tips. Yeah, those are more focused ones like that. And if we do most of those, excuse me, I've kind of stopped studying the ship layouts because I'm enjoying the initial exploration. I don't always want to know what I'm going to walk into when I first walk into the ship. I used to study them. I mean, I'd watch every video, ship tour, look at the plans, all that kind of stuff. And I kind of stopped doing that because, now I just like the wow factor when I first walk in. So I don't always want to see it ahead of time. But, pre-cruise plan, excuse me, is definitely important. Know your port options. Because normally you get there the day before, so you're going to want to know your hotel, how close you're to the cruise port, how you're going to get from the hotel to the cruise port. Kind of definitely have all that stuff planned out. Ship excursions, yep, you want to pre-book those as much as possible because if you don't, they could sell out. And if you really, really want a particular one, it may not be available if you wait too long. Especially, there's some ones like in Roatan, the one where you go with the sloths. That one sells out super quick. That's one of the really, really popular ones. When we went to Save the Sea Turtles, it took us 2 cruises to get that one.
Yes.
Because it kept selling out and things like that. So booking excursions ahead of time. Yeah, bring a wristwatch. And I'll add on to that one a little bit. You have to go, like mine is connected to my phone because it's a Fitbit. So I have to go in there and tell my phone not to do automatic time changes. Leave it on manual, set it to ship time, and then leave it alone. But if you leave it on automatic, as soon as it connects to Wi-Fi or you get off in port and it connects to something, it'll automatically shift your time and it can make you late. So, but if you have just a separate watch that doesn't connect to anything, set it to ship time and boom, you're good to go with that.
Do you know if coffee is cheaper in Jamaica than on Amazon? I haven't priced it on Amazon, but I am willing to bet Amazon because I think I paid $20, and I do K-Cups, so that could be a lot of it. But I paid $20 a box, and I bought 2 boxes. And there's only 12 in the box, and they were $20 a piece in Jamaica. So you might find it cheaper on Amazon. Now, we went to a grocery store in North Carolina where I found it, the K-Cups.
Yeah, the
and it
Blue
was,
Mountain?
Yeah. and it was only like $12 or something like that for that one.
But I'm gonna say this though too. You can get it here in the States.
Yes, you can get it in the States. It's just
But it does not taste the same as it does when you're in Jamaica.
No.
Not because the coffee's different. Location matters. When you eat something and you drink something, to me, if you get it from where it comes from, it just always tastes better. Location matters when you eat.
Have y'all ever had swingers come to y'all to invite y'all back to the room?
No. You will see the pineapples on the doors and the upside down pineapples. That is a real thing. We see pineapples all the time on cruise ships. Pineapples on people's doors. I didn't think that they would have pineapples on their doors. People older than us can be freaky because I seen a walker go by and a pineapple on the door, and that's not a joke. So yeah, that stuff happens, but no, not us.
But do they know that that's what that is?
I don't know. I'm not trying to be vulgar, but the sexually transmitted disease level is way high in like assisted living and nursing homes. There's a reason for that. So do they know what the pineapple means? I think there is a possibility they know what that means.
Pamela says $62 a pound. Wow. That's
Oh.
high for coffee. Cody loves the sloths. I want to know by distance and time which excursions will be ship books and which ones will be independent. Agree with the turtle excursion is awesome and book ASAP.
Yeah. If there's one you really want, book it as soon as possible, because chances are if you really want to do it, somebody else really wants to do it too, and it's always limited number of spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to grab them quick. You got to grab them fast if it's a must-do excursion. So it took us 2 cruises to get the turtle one, especially because you can only do it a couple months a year. We had to wait a whole year before we got another shot at turtles. So, and that's probably one of our favorite excursions that we ever did. It was some work.
Yeah, because you got to dig like 3 feet down into the sand, and your arms aren't 3 feet, so you're halfway, and you slide a little bit, and then it fills back up with sand, and yeah.
It's pretty much a hole in your leg that's sticking out the top
Yes.
of the hole as you're digging for baby turtles. But when you find your baby turtles and you take them out, all that digging was suddenly worth it.
Yes.
So, and we only found one in our hole,
Yes.
but it was worth it.
It was very much worth it.
Very much worth it to know we saved one baby turtle. So, where were we at there?
Can you bring exotic fruit back? No.
No. They will not let you bring anything back on the ship unless it is sealed in its original packaging. So things like fruit, no, they wouldn't. Meat and stuff, you can't. Nothing like that. You can't bring it on the ship and you can't take it off the ship.
I'm kind of jealous, Paul. That he's in Skagway right now on a 7-day cruise.
All right, so you're going to have to tell us, though, make us all really jealous. What is the temperature in Skagway right now? Or just a rough estimate, because it's got to be better than the 500 degrees it is the rest of us are facing. Because we started off talking about we all need to go to Skagway. It's got to be cooler there. We have firsthand reporting from Skagway here. So it's got to be cooler in Skagway. I mean, I'm starting to sweat inside the house.
Yeah.
That's because we have lights in the studio. And studio lights make it hot. They really, really, really do. But if not, we'd look all silly. You gotta have the studio magic. Otherwise I'll look more like, I just totally forgot his name. I just ruined my own joke.
So I will say with the excursions, if this is your first time cruising and you go on excursions, definitely take your patients there because they cram a lot of people into those excursions.
Depending on which ones you take.
Yeah.
You can take the more all-inclusive ones or the limited capacity ones,
Which are the ones we like to take.
the VIP ones, right? Because you get a fewer amount of people in there. And if you're booking an excursion, just to add on even to that, go down to the description. Read the description of the excursion. Read what it provides and what it suggests you take with you. You will need to know that information.
Yeah, we've heard stories where tennis shoes were required and they didn't wear tennis shoes, and so they weren't able to participate.
Exactly. And it also will let you know the fitness activity level. It'll also let you know if it's accessible for anybody that's, on a scooter or anything like that. And that's something really big to pay attention to because you're in a foreign country, so they don't necessarily have to provide everything that's provided here in the United States. So just kind of keep that in mind. But usually they're pretty good about saying, hey, you're going to do a lot of walking. It's uneven ground. Wear tennis shoes. Bring your sunscreen, things like that you'll need to know. And some of it, it is common sense, but, we've all seen the comments on Saturdays where they were surprised the cruise line didn't provide them insect repellent.
Yes.
And they were on a jungle excursion. Because when we went to the Mayan ruins in Costa Maya, excuse me, we needed insect repellent.
But I had it packed. Mr. Sancho's is the best.
Never been. We have never, ever been to Mr. Sancho's. One of these days, I need to probably give it a legitimate try, just to at least say and speak about Mr. Sancho's. But it has never been on the top of our list for Cozumel. To be 100% honest. Usually we go up to like Isle Paradise or something like that. We go up there to snorkel, Tiffany paddle boards, ridden the jet skis from up there. It's usually where we go for that kind of stuff. Crystal clear water. Just got a bit of a current.
Yes.
Either that or we just roam around Cozumel in general.
Yeah, the last few times we've just kind of roamed around.
Well, I like going into town and just mingling with the people and seeing what's going on. And every time we go to Cozumel and we go to the same cruise port, we go into town, we're like, yep, we saw that last time, but it never fails. We always see something different. And we're like, we were just here on this street and we never saw this before.
Yeah.
They were doing the Mayan rain dance, swinging from that pole last time we were down there. We've been on that street 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And never saw it. So Cozumel is one of our favorite ports, though. We go there a lot. It's one of the ones you're always going to almost always hit from Galveston. But it is one of my favorites.
It used to not be mine.
Tiffany had a very interesting experience the first time she went into Cozumel, which, you know what, that could be another good cruise tip.
Yes.
Maybe even a tips from Tiffany. I'm still working on her.
What do y'all like about the mom and pop shop? I like that it's more custom. It's not.
If you're talking about like in cruise ports, which since we're talking about cruising, one, if you leave the cruise port and you go into the actual town, you're going to get better prices. You're going to get better deals. The stuff in the cruise ports a lot of times is not even made locally. A lot of it's made in China. It's shipped in. They're all franchises. You know, a huge portion of it is you will have some local vendors in there, but they have to pay to be in there, so their prices are higher. You go right outside the cruise port, and it's a whole different experience. And I can give examples that have, to me. If you guys have watched any of my cruise videos, you guys know I look for White Monster every time I go to a cruise port. I want one to drink. Last time we were in Cozumel, we ran into the store in the cruise port that I knew had them, and they wanted $7 each for one. I said, nope, walked right outside the cruise port, across the street to the convenience store there, and we got 3 of them for $7.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it kind of works like that with a little bit of everything. And particularly in Cozumel, if you're looking for something in particular, go outside of the cruise port and just ask one of the shop owners, because they're going to tell you, oh yeah, my cousin, my friend, my neighbor, whatever, he's got a shop right over here. Let me show you where it is. He has what you're looking for. And they will walk you to the shop that has what you want.
Yes.
And I mean, we've never, and I never feel unsafe with them either.
No.
So.
You snorkel to read the details of your excursions. Are you snorkeling from the beach or deep water? There is a difference. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a big difference, but you got to judge that too on your snorkeling and swimming abilities.
Now they'll put a life jacket on you, but
I know
it's still that current. Last time we went snorkeling, that current.
That's just in Cozumel.
Yeah.
That has that killer current that goes down on that side over there. So it's easy to get down, but boy, you got to be a strong swimmer to come back. And you really, really do, because we took a catamaran last time we were out in Cozumel. And after we did the snorkeling, they went further up and everybody could just free swim. And so it was no fins, no masks, and no life jackets. And you could not touch. And they put, floaties out and stuff like that. But this one poor gentleman, the current got him and was pulling him away from the ship. And he was trying to get back to the boat. And he could not outswim that current. And we had to go get him and bring him back in. So, yeah, know your swimming capacity, I guess. Know your limits. Know your tolerances.
I want to try scuba diving.
Me too. I think that's, I don't know. Do you want to try scuba diving?
I don't know if I want to try scuba diving or if I want to try just the helmet and walking along the bottom. You know what I mean?
You want to try that one first and see how you like that?
I don't know.
All right, I really want to try scuba diving. You can do it. I know I can do it in Cozumel. It's one of the excursions that's offered there. So maybe I'll do that on a solo cruise.
Yeah. My thing is I'm scared to death of water. And I'm okay snorkeling because I'm on top and I have my life jacket and I can pop my head up and I'm there. I don't know about scuba diving though, because you're completely submerged.
Yeah, but you have to wear weights. And you just pop your, if you got, and you're going to, you can pop the weights and float up.
Maybe so, but
yeah, they actually have to wear weights and weight you down.
I want to try. I just gotta.
And you're little bitty, so they probably have to put a lot of weights on you to keep you near the bottom.
I gotta get over that fear.
On Royal Caribbean, you can do the PADI diving training. They do it in the pools on the ships.
Yeah.
That's a good place to learn to scuba dive. It's not super cheap. Don't get me wrong. They charge for it, and it's not cheap at all. But if you want to do it in a safe, place where, a pool, you can just stand up.
Maybe I'll try that first, but yeah.
All right, so there we go. We'll get Tiffany to do the training on the ship. And then if you get past that part, we'll try it in the ocean.
Yeah.
Me, I'll go straight in the ocean.
I know, I'm weird.
No. She is weird the fact that she doesn't actually like water. She doesn't like swimming pools. She doesn't like hot tubs. She doesn't like getting her face wet. But, boy, let her have a snorkel and a mask and some crystal clear Caribbean water, and you'll never catch her. She's gone.
Kind of floating on the top.
Yeah, but now your face is wet, your hair is wet, you're in the water. All the things you don't like. If it's snorkeling, you're all about it. That is just a little bit weird. But yeah, I definitely want to try scuba diving. I also want to try something I haven't done. I want to parasail.
Yes.
That just looks like it would be a lot of fun. I want to parasail. I want to scuba dive.
do the submarine though after what happened to the ocean. So
I wouldn't do the submarine, but I wouldn't do it because I don't want to be enclosed in a tube during my excursion. I'm too
claustrophobic for that.
I want to be outside. I want to be on the beach. I want to be snorkeling, playing, doing that kind of stuff. I would not want to be in that tube. I just don't think it would be fun. I'm not concerned about safety or any of that, but to me, I don't think it would be fun for me. Lots of people like it. People go on that excursion. Just for me personally, I don't think I would enjoy it.
No.
Because, you get a little bitty window, you look out and you maybe see a fish go by. I want to follow said
Chris
fish.
wants to chase the fish.
I want to follow the fish. I want to go see where he goes.
Plus, when you're on these excursions and you're snorkeling, if they find something cool, like I've held a starfish.
We've held starfish.
An octopus.
The
Conches.
The pointy ones.
Oh, I can't think.
Remember the white one and the black one?
Yeah.
Urchins.
Sea urchins.
We've held sea urchins. We've seen the stingrays. We saw the rock stingrays that he found for us that time.
The barracudas.
The barracudas, plus all the normal fish we see. Yeah, I just can't see all that good stuff and experience all that good stuff in a tube.
No.
So I'm not, like I said, and it's just me personally. If you like it, no shade on you for it, but the submarines, the glass bottom boats, boat rides, things like that, I just don't have an interest in it unless it's a boat ride to, get out and do other stuff.
Raymond says scuba and hang gliding is cool. I have 36 jumps in the USMC.
Lawn darts. In the Army, you're pretty much just a human lawn dart. Those parachutes just slow you down. There's no gentle, just like you see on TV. Those are skydiving chutes. In the military, it's, slow rocks. That's what that is. Ray knows what I'm talking about. Lawn darts. And it never fails. You look up and there's like holes in your parachute too.
I take it you did that?
It hurts when you land. If you land wrong, there's this whole thing where you gotta, you land a certain way, hope you don't land on a Jeep. It's land on your own gear. Your rifle goes, anyway. Have time to break your leg.
What else?
Enough about that. That's it. Human lawn darts. At least that's what I thought about it in the Army. And I'm sure the Marine Corps uses the same parachutes. I'm pretty sure. Listen, unless you get one of the nice skydivings, if you do like high altitudes or skydiving, those ones you can float. Now, the only place, and I never got to do it, but the only place I heard it was really good to jump, like in the military, was Alaska, especially if there was snow on the ground, because you just...
They didn't feel as dirt.
See? Told you. It's just a controlled fall.
Yes.
But way off topic again. God, I'm notorious for that. You do it. You get me distracted and have me talking about all kinds of other stuff.
So back to the subject.
All right, so I lost track of where we were. Excursions. So what's your favorite excursion ever been?
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Is it saving the baby sea turtle? Was it going to the Mayan ruins when the monkeys came down and were running around and we got to see monkeys up close and personal? Was it the snorkeling when it was just you, I, and the guide?
That had to have been probably one of the best ones. That one and snorkeling in Belize.
Belize was good. Belize was really pretty, but you get a lot of coral and a lot of reef, but there wasn't a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Where they had us snorkeling, I just didn't see as many fish.
But yeah, that snorkeling excursion we did pretty much by ourselves. That one was pretty awesome.
I like the fish. I like get right in the middle of the fish. If you've never snorkeled down there, you get right in the middle like the sergeant majors, and they just circle right around you. They are awesome. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Let me throw up the special dun dun dun. Hit that like button thing. Oh no, maybe that's a little too much. Maybe it should be please hit that like button. Not do it now. What do you think?
I like reading the comments instead of seeing that.
There's no like button for you to hit. There we go. I'll put it back on the comment. So, what is everybody else's favorite excursion out there? You guys have an absolute favorite, or maybe one that we need to try as well?
Yeah.
I know scuba diving. That one is definitely on my list. Parasailing is definitely on my list. There's got to be some more. There has to be some more.
Zip lining. I want to do zip lining.
You want to try zip lining?
Yeah.
Okay. Zip lining for Tiffany. I want to go back to Alaska and try excursions up there.
Yes.
I'd like to see how close we can really get to whales. And I want to go back and do them in Hall Glacier.
So in Skagway, you can actually do an excursion to Haines, and that's a boat tour that they take you across to Haines, and you can do like walking trails and stuff like that, and see bears and moose.
Ooh,
and
moose.
I'm sure when you're in the boat, little ferry, you might see whales.
We saw whales everywhere else. All right, Ray says we need to go to Bermuda and dive around Bermuda. Well, I would definitely do it because we have not been to Bermuda,
Nope.
and I'll get in the water and try it everywhere. I'll try snorkeling, swimming, diving, anywhere. I am a complete water person when it comes to stuff like that. Usually Tiffany's out of the ocean and up sitting in a chair on the beach somewhere before I finally come back. And she's dried off. Had lunch. 6 margaritas. You don't even drink margaritas but one.
I don't know. They're starting to. Now that I've had one, the margaritas there are pretty good.
Yeah, the tequila there is really good.
Bermuda is great for snorkeling.
All right.
There it is.
Bermuda's going to have to go on the list. Got to go there now.
Yes.
The snorkeling is that good. I got to check that out.
Has some nice caves too. I like going into caves.
Well, that's 3 resounding Bermudas right there.
Yes.
That sounds like a trifecta of we must go to Bermuda.
Yeah.
All right. We will add Bermuda to the list.
No, we've never been there.
Well, I think if we go and we cruise out of like Jacksonville or South Carolina, Virginia, Baltimore, places like that, that's where you get your Bermuda in like almost every time.
Hanging with the sloths was a lot of fun, and the other animals.
We went down there, and that was an example of one we did not book that one early enough, and so when we got down there, we could not get that excursion, and we've only been the one time so far. We are planning to go back to Roatan just to try to get that excursion. I mean, that was our whole reason for going, and we couldn't get it because we waited too long.
Snorkeling anywhere, absolute favorite was kayaking in Mendenhall Glacier, climb Bermuda, glacier climb. Bermuda has the best snorkeling. Verdict may change after March's Barrier Reef snorkel. And Ray says you're going to love the port and the fort.
Ooh.
Yes.
Now, I love an old fort. Tiffany will tell you, I have drug her to more old forts and military historical stuff, and I'm sure it drives her nuts. She does not have the same interest and fascination that I have in it.
I like it. I like the history of it and stuff.
Well, just wait. We go to places like St. Croix and some of those other ones in the Virgin Islands, and I know they got that stuff there. Puerto Rico. And you know, Puerto Rico's on our list.
Yes.
That's where we're going to go on Virgin.
Yes.
So we're going to have opportunity of that. But yeah, okay. So now we got to go to one of those Bermuda cruises where they spend like the night, or they go to Bermuda twice.
Okay.
Sometimes they go to Bermuda, go out and come back to Bermuda, or even spend the night there. So we can snorkel and go to the forts and try to get some caves in.
Okay. I'm down. It's definitely worth it.
Well, I'm going to have to look at the old booking schedule here over the next couple of days and see what we can fit in there.
Yes.
Because, you know, we can make a whole trip of it. We can go out and sail out of one of those ones that's close to grandbabies and pass through, say hi to grandbabies, go cruise, can pass through and say hi to grandbabies again.
Halifax was a fun port.
Canada. So we've only had the one experience in Canada, and we just weren't there long enough. But that, I want to say Halifax is on the East Coast side. That's the autumn cruises with the leaves. So there's so many good cruises, so many different places we want to go, so many different things we want to try. Just doesn't seem like there's enough days in the week to get all of it.
Yeah.
To get all of it. We would have to be gone from home for like months at a time to hit all the stuff at one time we wanted to hit. And then I'm pretty sure we come back and, you know, be fired.
You go to Puerto Rico and do the rum factory.
Will we do the rum factory?
I don't know.
Well, all right. I guess I got to say this. We didn't like tequila until we went to Mexico. So.
And got real.
And got real tequila. So, does real rum taste different than what you get down at the local liquor store here in the States?
I'm sure they don't put ethanol in that.
I don't know. Tequila in the States and tequila in Mexico are not the same thing.
No.
So if rum was is the same way, then I'd be at least willing to try it. But if rum is rum, I don't know that would be at the top of my list. Sorry, my allergies are killing me because we're not huge drinkers.
Mm-mm.
I mean, the last time we even had a drink was the last time we were in Mexico. And an occasional sip out of the tequila bottle in the fridge.
Yeah.
I mean, but we just don't drink a whole lot. And the only time we honestly will have, any is cruising. Because we had the dirty banana that was recommended last time we were on Princess.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, all the tequila in Mexico.
Yeah. We didn't even drink during the Alaskan. We had root beer.
It's true. We had a local made root beer.
The rum is free, so enjoy.
I'm not above free. Never above free. That could be interesting, though, to see the process, the distillery, and all that kind of stuff, and at least give it a taste.
Mm-hmm.
Can't ever turn anything down until I've actually tasted it and know that, okay, I don't like this or I do like this.
Yeah.
That's it, because we wouldn't have known about tequila the way we do if I hadn't just been willing to go for it. So, I completely agree that. But, I mean, there's just tons of good places to go. Tons of places on our bucket list. So many excursions to try. I mean, many times even we've been to Cozumel, we have not done all of the excursions that are even available through there.
No.
I can think of several that we haven't done. We haven't been to Mr. Sancho's yet. There's that park at Excamp. Yeah, I can show you. But I mean, we haven't scuba dived yet. You haven't the one with the helmets. What they call it? Snuba.
Snuba.
Yeah, Snuba. Haven't done Snuba. We haven't Paris. So yeah, there's so much to do.
They also will give you different flavors of rum. We like flavors.
I do like flavors. Admittedly, do like flavors.
Yeah, shockingly, you brought home mango tequila.
It was the best one.
And you don't like mango.
I know. I don't like mango. Came home with mango tequila last time I solo cruised because it was delicious. I don't know. It's weird, you know. I'm a proud American. Love my country. Love Texas. But there's a lot of things I enjoy in other countries. And a lot of the reasons I will go to other countries for some of those things that I enjoy, that they're not what you get here. And there's a lot of stuff that's better. Tasting, food-wise, some drink-wise. You know, you have to admit, your Jamaican coffee is better than Folgers off the shelf.
Yes.
So, you know.
As I told the boys when growing up, I would say, try it and see if you like it.
Absolutely. And it took me growing up and becoming an adult to actually understand that there is so much benefit to that. I remember, you know, as a kid too, being told, try it. You might like it. You know, and as a kid, you're like, nope, I ain't doing it. Refuse. Or you've seen kids, they take that little, you know, that crumb bite, and they're like, ooh, and they don't like it. I remember being like that. And a lot of it was cruising. And when we started traveling and we were cruising and realized how much delicious stuff there was to eat and do and everything else out there. For us, for me at least, cruising really, really helped open my eyes to some of the enjoyable parts of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
give it an honest bite and try it.
Right. And for you, you know, you hadn't done a whole lot of worldly traveling before cruising, right?
No.
I mean, I went to some fun sandy places, but you know, you weren't exactly there for recreation activities. So cruising is a really good.
Ray said I hated liver and now it's okay. That is one I will not touch.
Hated it then, still don't like that one now. That one just it cannot win.
Me. That one haunts me. I would never even make it for my kids. I don't think my kids know what it tastes like because that and stuffed bell peppers, they haunt me.
Yeah, there's some things you eat as a kid that apparently have some traumatic lasting effects that as an adult just will not touch it. Will not touch it. But I mean, so you all the places you traveled, tried all the good stuff. Cruising, I mean, to me, is just a great way to see the world.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you a little taste of every place you go. Not a lot, just a few hours. But it's enough for you to say, ooh, I would come back, and you can go back on a regular vacation, do, an all-inclusive resort, or just cruise there multiple times.
So Sean is asking in Galveston, is it better to park at the Royal Caribbean Cruise Port, or is one of the hotels on the island perfectly safe to leave your vehicle at?
I've done both. It's going to honestly be a matter of convenience for you. The cruise parking there for Royal Caribbean is close enough. Both lots are close enough that if you're driving down there, you want to park your car there, you walk right to the terminal, and then when you're done, you walk right back to your car and you head home. You don't have to catch transportation from the hotel to the port, then have to get it from the port back to your car.
Is it a secured port?
I parked there a couple times.
No, I'm saying though, is it like Carnival. It's all gated in
No.
and stuff like that.
No, but there's security there and everything like that. I said I've used it a couple times, but I will say this much: if you are going to park at the Royal Caribbean lots, book it online ahead of time, because you will get there and they will tell you the lots are full, and then now you're stuck finding your own place to park. So if you want to go there, you go online, pay for it ahead of time. You're guaranteed your spot, and you can pick either the north lot or the south lot. Either one are walking distance, right up to the ship. So I like to park there personally, just because it's convenient for me. I can drive straight there, park, get on the ship, get off, get in the vehicle, and I'm heading home. I don't have to fool with nothing else. No transportation required whatsoever, other than driving your car there. So, and what you're going to pay to park at a hotel a lot of times is similar. So I'd honestly say it's really, really about convenience for you.
Connie says, laugh out loud, saying both of my parents love liver and onions. My mom would say it's liver and onions and brown gravy, and my sister would get all excited and I would go to bed.
But the other side of that coin, we parked at Harbor House. They had the cruise and stay parking.
Yes.
But anytime we've done that, it's been at a place like Harbor House, and we were sailing on Carnival. So again, we could walk from the hotel right to the ship. Most of our choices are based purely on convenience of, can we just walk right there and then walk right back to the vehicle and take as many steps out of the process. So hopefully that answers your question.
And Ray wants to know if we're still moving to North Carolina.
It is still under discussion, but it'll probably make you feel better to know that my daughter has been sending us house listings. I think the last one she tagged us in had 2 houses next to each other on one piece of property. And I think that's just so, she can shoo the grandbabies out the front door, right into the front door of Grandma and Grandpa's.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, now we're actually supposed to be in North Carolina right now. This live was actually supposed to come from there. But circumstances out of everybody's control, that trip has been postponed. And that was one of the things we were going to look at and discuss more in detail while we were there. So, still on the table, but nothing is, I guess, definite or dated as of yet. That's it. Kids seem really, really interested in it. Tiffany seems really, really interested in it. It's probably me that's dragging my feet worse than anybody. So, but it's not that I don't want to move there. It's definitely not I don't want to be with the kids. But I worked really hard my whole life to buy the property we live on now. And we got a house, we got land, and I guess
This is the first time he's bought a house, so it's kind of it's hard letting it go.
yeah. So.
But I keep telling him there's a house and a land in North Carolina.
Yeah, apparently houses side by side so that the grandbabies can just go out one door and right in the other.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
We even have the 4-wheeler. They don't have to walk. They can drive.
They were close enough together they could walk. They definitely could walk. So, we have some other, or we were informed of some other, North Carolina information that we're not at liberty to share on our lives yet. A couple more months, we'll be able to do some more sharing. That's, going to be another motivator for us to really go. So honestly, in the end, I think it's probably going to happen. I think that's probably the best answer I can give right now. Plus, even if I said no, I am completely outnumbered. I am outnumbered in all fronts on this one.
Yeah, it's like 5-1.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not against it. I'm just, because it's hard to let go.
Yeah. Sean says thank you.
Yeah, well, hopefully that answered your question. So for us, it's really the easiest, most convenient way we can do things. The more steps you can take out of a process means there's less that can go wrong and less you could possibly have to deal with. And on embarkation day, you want to deal with as little as possible. Because the less you got to do, the smoother it goes, in my opinion.
Yes.
And as I said, we'll use transportation and things like that if we fly places. But even right now, honestly, airlines are so goofy, and with the stuff they do, that I don't trust them half the time. I don't trust them that my luggage is even going to get there, or you're going to get to your first layover and they've canceled your next flight, or
they oversold your plane.
They oversold your plane. You know, I'd rather drive everywhere anyway. Yeah. Because at least then I have some semblance of control, I guess, over the situation. Probably the best way to put that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, plus airfare is going up and up and up and up. I mean, even to the point where I told Tiffany, I said, okay, you know, we really want to go do this British Isles cruise, Scotland, UK, Ireland, all up through there. Told her, transatlantic our way there, do the cruise, and then transatlantic our way back. I've even suggested that just so we don't have to fly over. And I would be kind of antsy stuck in a plane. I've been antsy. Excuse me. Stuck in a plane, you know, on those transatlantic flights. I get uncomfortable because I can't get up, move around, and things like that. I'd rather be on a ship where I can at least walk.
Yeah.
You know, you're not stuck in a seat, and then if you want a good, comfortable seat, of course, you got to pay more for all that.
Ray says, well, jump in feet first and enjoy. I left the city fire department and hired by Nags Head, and with 30 years in, now retired.
As I said, I'm going to lose the argument, and I'm not even arguing very hard against it. So,
no, he's been secretly looking at stuff.
But I think it's going to happen purely because, honestly, we'd rather be grandparents that are there consistently and not go and visit once a year grandparents. I'd much rather be an all-the-time grandparent. You know, plus school's out, snatch some grandbabies, run for the cruise ship.
Yes.
Teach them early.
Yes.
Teach them really, really early. So, but I think we're going to get ready to wrap it up for today. You got anything else, baby?
No.
No? All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this week's live episode. Like always, we really, really appreciate everybody being here, everybody talking, everybody commenting, everybody sharing. I mean, yeah, our subscription numbers are going up, and that's awesome. But, you know, the people that come to this live are here each and every week.
Seeing new names on the
Yeah, we always see new names, but,
love
you know, we got our regulars that come every single week, and that's why I come and do these lives.
Yes.
New people are great, love answering questions, talking, but, I mean, Ray's been with us since the beginning. James has been with us since the beginning. Connie, Cody, Linda. I mean, have been with us for years now, it seems like. I mean, so you guys would make this thing great.
Thank you for the live stream from California, Linda. And Ray says, you all have a great evening and cruise on.
Yeah, that is Ray's.
That's Ray's slogan.
Yep, that's his slogan right there. If you see cruise on, you know it's Ray.
Yes. Thanks very much for the awesome live.
Hey, no, we really appreciate it. Remember, we're hosting this thing, but it would not be this awesome and this much fun without you guys. It's the conversation and the back and forth is what actually make these great, and it's why I show up here every Wednesday.
Yes, he looks forward to it.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Desiree's been with us for a long time too.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what makes this so much fun is the live interaction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if we don't have a whole lot of stuff to talk about when the show starts,
We
Usually-
wind up talking about liver and onions.
Yeah, there you go. And lawn darting from an airplane, things like that. But, it's good, whole, fun conversation, I think. And then live stream is one of the best ways I feel to connect with the people that, watch our stuff and actually show up to listen to what I say.
I don't even listen.
Yeah, Tiffany doesn't even listen to what I say. So, Tiffany, you watched that video yesterday? Well, I had it on. No volume. She has no clue what I've said for like 10 episodes of anything. But again, want to thank everybody for coming here again tonight. We really, really, really appreciate it. And I just completed. Everyone have yourselves a really, really great night.
And as always, we'll see you out on the high seas.